Hello and welcome to today's video. This is the finale for the hashtag Roulette Pan Collab series. This is started by Alexi and Rebecca Morgan here on YouTube. I will link the information about them and their channels down below, as well as the playlist for this entire project. There are so many lovely ladies doing this project. It's huge. And if you like Project Pan videos, you need to go check that playlist out. It's amazing. Now, before we begin, I do want to issue a quick apology for being MIA. We had an unexpected death in the family a little over a week ago, and we immediately grabbed our carry-on bags, shoved everything we could into them, and jumped on a plane all within like 3 or 4 hours. And so it's been a crazy ride, and both Bo and I are very exhausted and tired, and we just got back into Sweden yesterday, and so I'm super jet lagged, which is why I'm wearing my glasses to hide that as much as I can. And yeah, I apologize if I'm not as high energy as I would like to be in this video, but my gas tank is on E. And so let's jump in and talk about the products that I completed so far in this project, and then we'll talk about the ones that I was working on as of the last update. So first off, I have my CoverGirl Outlast All Day Powder, and I'm not going to tell you what categories all of these were. Honestly, I'm too exhausted to remember, and I don't want to be reading off the paper the entire time. So this is my powder, and it was used enough to be repressed last time, but as you can see, I did hit pan on it again. Now, it was, at the time, it just wasn't working for me in the project. I didn't have any other face blotting powders at the time, and so I decided to roll this out and leave it out of the project. Let me just not rush through this powder because it was serving a purpose as a blotting powder. I did recently pick up another blotting powder, so maybe in the future you might see this in another Project Pan, but I do appreciate that I got a lot of good use out of it, and it is a great blotting powder for me. It is not my favorite powder otherwise, like to set the whole face during the whole makeup thing, not a fan. Now, moving into the next product, this is my e.l.f. lip scrub, and hopefully you'll be able to see here on the cap some lines. So we were up here at first, and now we are done. This is a great product. I really enjoyed it, and I was glad to use it up during this project. Next up was a Garnier moisturizer, and it's gone too. This did not work for my face, but I did end up using it on my body and was happy to do so. Definitely not a fan of it, really. Then I have a ColourPop product here. This is in the shade I Heart This, and this is what my goal ended up looking like. I wanted to hit pan, and that's exactly what I did. And hopefully it didn't rub off, but I tried to swatch it, and it's this one right here. So there's that. Next up was a highlighter from Wet n Wild, and this is in the shade Precious Petal, and again, my goal was to hit pan. So you can see that I did that, and I believe that it is this one here, right here in the middle. Let's see if I can swatch it again. Yeah, should be right there in the middle. And a beautiful highlighter. I am a little sad especially for those of you who really try hard to keep your collections 100% cruelty-free. I'm really bummed for you. Like I look at Wet n Wild now, and I even have a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, even though I'm not someone who is trying to get my collection to a cruelty-free status right now. But yeah, I'm a little bummed about Wet n Wild and their shenanigans as of late. Now, next up is my ColourPop highlighter in the shade Wisp, and this is another product that I wanted to hit pan on, and as you can tell, I did that. And I believe that it's swatched up here. This is a dupe, in my opinion, to the Opal Becca highlighter, and beautiful shade, and I absolutely love Super Chalk formulas. They are my favorite formula of highlighter. Absolutely stunning. Next up was a nail polish from the Color Workshop, and this was my first ever nail polish that I put into a project, and hopefully you can see that it is mostly done. It is not usable anymore, and it wasn't the greatest formula to begin with, so I did end up using as much as I could. I cannot muster a hand, is that what you would say, out of what's left, and so it is done. And then the last thing that I finished or hit goal on in this project was my ABH Cream Contour Kit, and as you can see, I have 4 pans. This one had a small pan at the beginning. Hopefully I can throw up a photo. And then these 3 here were brand new pans to me, and I'm very excited and happy for that. And yeah, great product. I don't know if I'd ever repurchase it. It's a fun little step to do, but it's definitely not necessary. Now, let's jump into the products that I was using since the last update in July. And the first one here is my Ulta Matte Primer. And as you can hopefully see, it is quite used. I did not end up finishing it. I'm awful at using primers and foundations. I have no idea why. I wear makeup like 6 times a week at minimum usually. And yeah, I go through these things so slowly. So I have used 15.9 grams, or no, sorry. It was measuring at 15.9 grams. It was 17.9 grams last time. So it has used I have used 2 grams since then. Math, wow, my mouth barely works. And then next up I have my Lancome like lash primer booster thing. And I have used 0.4 grams of it, so at 7.8, it's now 7.4. And yeah, I am enjoying this product a ton. It has really like made me love lash primers, especially in my brows, because I have one brow that like lays down, and then I have one brow that like lays perfectly, and the hairs that need to stand up, and the other ones that need to lay down. And the other one, it does what it wants. It's the rebellious twin, I guess, I don't know. But I love this. I'm really enjoying lash primers in general. And so, yeah. Next up, I have a Twisted Sister hair gel. And I knew I would get some good use out of this. And I did. I used 16.1 grams of this. But this was an item that when I was packing to go home last minute, that I forgot most of these items. In fact, maybe all of them to pack, because it was just the last thing on my mind. So a lot of these items that I was working on the past month didn't get touched for a good week and a half. And yeah, so it did get a good amount of use, but not complete. So a little bit of a bummer. I like to feel like I'm an overachiever, and I like to hit goal on as many things as I can, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't happen. Next is my NYX Under Eye Concealer, and I probably could have done this one. This was, again, one I didn't remember to bring with me, but I was too lazy to use a brush. That was what I used to do, is like get a brush and like dig kind of in the middle, which is why there's such a good dip there. But I've been so lazy, and I haven't wanted to like use and clean a brush when I'm already using my beauty sponge. So I've been using my beauty sponge, and you may notice that like the outside edge of this is more flattened, or looks a little bit more smooth, and it's because I've just kind of been digging and then patting. And so I'm using it, but it just doesn't show as much progress because of the way I'm using it. So it is what it is. Next up is my e.l.f. contour kit, and my goal was to hit pan on one of the either bronze or contour kind of shades. And hopefully you can see that this morning, or not this morning, this afternoon when I did my makeup, I hit pan. And so I'm actually very surprised. I kind of didn't think I would hit goal on anything going into this update this morning when I was thinking and planning it. But I did manage to, right before turning on my camera, I did hit a little bit of baby pan, which that's good. And then last thing is my glow kit, my sugar glow kit by ABH. And I wanted to kind of make a dent and maybe even hit pan and gumdrop here. Again, this just wasn't on my mind when I went home to see my family. And so, yeah, hopefully you can see. I will try to throw up another photo here that I have like kind of made more of a dip in the product, but I definitely haven't finished it or got anywhere close to hitting pan. And so, yeah, that is everything. Make sure you say hello in the comments. I really enjoy when people say hello. This is kind of like my family away from family. And after this past week, you know, I think I just can come to appreciate how much the people in my life who are in my life are important to me. And so, yeah, I'm rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to Alexi and Rebecca for this project and extending it to everyone else and letting us all participate. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.